Hey, what's up guys? My name is Daniel Lopez with Invest in You Finance, and today we are going to be talking about house hacking. And right away, I just want to get into the numbers and show you guys how you could potentially save $40,000. So let's get into it. Here on the board, I have an example. If you house hack and you invest $500 every month because you're house hacking, so you're saving that money, you invest the $500 every month. That means annually it's going to be $6,000. And if you invest this in an index fund that just tracks the market, follows the S&P 500, you're going to typically get a rate of return of around 7 to 10%. So for this example, I'm just going to extreme, 10% on average. So after 2 years, your balance would be $13,860. The principal that you put in is $12,000. On year 3, you'll have $21,846, and the principal is only $18,000. Fourth year, you'll have $30,630, and your principal is only $24K. And then your fifth year, you'll have $40,000 invested in the stock market that has grown over these 5 years, and all you had to invest was $30,000. So the question is, what is house hacking? But before that, please guys, like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys coming to watch the channel. If you're new to this channel, thank you for coming. We talk about finance, personal finance, business, making money, and just overall things that can help you invest in you to make you financially independent. So the original house hacking, it's basically you buy a duplex or quadruplex, triplex, you buy a property, you live in one unit, and then you rent the other unit out. That unit that you're renting out essentially pays for the mortgage, and you either get to live rent free or you make a little bit of a profit, depending on how big your property is, triplex, duplex, whatever the case may be. The house hacking that I'm talking about today, I mean, it's totally different. What I'm talking about is something that I did, and that when I did this, it allowed me to save $40,000 or more in my individual stock brokerage account. So guys, the ultimate house hacking is living with your parents. Living with your parents allows you to put in that extra $500 into the stock market every month to make this money in the market. If you graduate from college and you get a job locally where you live and you have the opportunity to live with your parents, I would definitely consider it. I know it sounds like, oh no, I don't want to live with my parents. I want to move out, get my own apartment. You can do that. Of course you can. Anyone can. But I just want you to put the numbers down, calculate, okay, if this isn't even the cost of an apartment. This would be like in a room in an apartment if you rented, an apartment with a friend and they paid half and you paid half, or you were in like a 4-bedroom house and you're paying $500 per room. So this is just like the minimum amount which you could potentially have in your individual stock brokerage account. So the ultimate house hacking is living with your parents. I did this. I graduated from college. It took me 6 years to graduate from college. And when I graduated in May 2011. I got hired at my corporate job in the same year, 2011, September 2011. And, I didn't move out of my parents' house. I lived with my parents for 4 years, and I didn't move out until May 2015, and that's when I moved to Pittsburgh. During that time, I was able to invest $500 every month. That was like the minimum investment. I'm sure I invested way more than that. But I just wanted to use an example of how much $500 would give you if you invested it all. I mean, this is like the easiest thing to do if you're trying to invest in the stock market. You just buy an ETF index fund, tracks the market. I mean, you're not looking at whether your crypto's down or whether your investments are down. You're not day trading. All you're doing is passively investing every month $500, and you're buying this ETF. At the end of year one, you invested your principal of $6,000, and that grew 10%, so that would be $6,600 that you got your first year. But however, your second year, you see your balance, it starts increasing. Your principal is just what you put in, like every month, which is the $500. So you just, add $6,000 every year. So you get 12K, 18K, 24K, 30K. But here's where the magic happens: compound interest. And if you watched all my other videos, I talk about compound interest. Compound interest is very important when it comes to growing your money. This is how your money is gonna multiply. And I mean, if you extend this out to 30 years, however long, I mean, obviously you're not gonna live with your parents for 30 years, but hey, I don't know. I just wanted to show, typically if you graduate from college and you might get a job locally, then you can potentially live with your parents, because whenever you graduate and you get your first job right out of college, you have to gain experience. So maybe your first few years, you gain experience at your job, and then once you gain experience, you could move to a different city, you can look for a higher paying job. But meanwhile, you could be potentially living with your parents and saving and investing this money. If you were only there for 4 years with your parents, you would have $30,000 invested. I lived with my parents for 4 years, and I invested over $500. This is just a minimum amount of $500 for the example. But let's say let's just double it. Let's just say you find a studio apartment that's $1,000, and you're thinking, oh man, I want to get out of my parents' house and I want to go live on my own to experience that. I am a believer in experiencing things in life, but you can always experience them later if your goal is to save money and to invest money, to build up your savings, your investments, things like that. So if you just postpone, like leaving the nest, this is how much you could potentially have. And this is the ultimate house hack, that you live with your parents, and maybe now that you're making money, you graduated from college, that maybe now you help them out. You give them some money for groceries, food, or whatever. Or you just give them money because you're living there and you're making money, and you appreciate the fact that they're letting you stay. Of course, this isn't going to work for everyone. Maybe their parents don't want them to stay with them, or whatever the situation is. Maybe this doesn't work. What I would suggest is maybe moving in with a roommate, or finding a place and splitting the rent. Or you can go back to the original house hacking, which is if you and maybe you're married, I don't know, but you and someone else can possibly buy a duplex, triplex, something like that, live in one of the units, and then you can rent out the other units, potentially creating some income for yourself and ultimately paying for your living situation. So that's the original house hacking. This is the one that if you could do it, you could save, a lot of money. This is just an extreme case if you stayed there for 5 years, $40,000. And if you decided just to save the money, not invest in the market, and just put it in your savings account where they pay you 0.01% in the bank, because they do not pay good interest, you would have basically $24,000 saved up just by living with your parents. So then the question is, okay, where do you get the $500? Well, you get the $500, because for the example I'm using, I'm saying that you graduate college, but let's say you don't go to college. Well, you get the $500 by working, providing services for someone, coming up with your own business, reselling things online. The easiest thing, like I said in my other videos, the easiest thing is like go pick up free stuff, bring it back home, sell it. Didn't cost you anything except the gas to go pick it up. Sell it, make a profit, save that money, invest that money. It'll grow. The whole point is, when I was younger, I never left a lot of money in my savings or checking account. It was always being invested, because when you're young, you can make the risk of investing your money in the stock market. Everything has a risk. I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. Go consult with your tax advisors, your financial advisors. This is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm just trying to show you guys what I've done and how I've made my money. These are simple things and they're not that complicated, but if you're interested in doing it, you definitely can. And you shouldn't worry about what other people think. Oh, he's still living at his parents' house. Well, guess what? You'll still be living at your parents' house, but you'll have $30K in the bank. And remember, it's not permanently, it's just temporarily. So this is just an idea of how to start investing $500. And if, like I said, if you're not in college or something like that, think of ways to make money. I mean, you could, I saw this TikTok where this guy, he does pressure washing and he sells door to door. So he had to come up with the initial cost of getting the pressure washer, and then basically just started going in the streets, knocking on doors, saying, hey, I want to pressure wash your home. We do exterior pressure washing. He charges like $350 per pressure wash. So if he does 10 houses, that's $3,500. That's like insane. So there are ways to make money. You can cut grass. You could paint people's house numbers on their driveway with like a stencil, cut out the numbers, like paint them, and go door to door knocking. So there are ways to make money out there. Sell on eBay, go to the thrift store, buy something for $1 or $2, flip it online, make $10, $15. There are ways to make this $500. So hopefully you guys could think about that and think about what you like doing. Maybe you have a service that you can sell. You could tutor somebody because you're good at math. Just think of ideas and write them down. And then the biggest thing is execution. Go execute, try it. If you don't like it, then know, hey, I tried this, I didn't like it, I'm gonna try something else. And then you just keep trying. And then eventually you start making the $500. I mean, if you made 1,000, you could double it. This 60,000, this 30,000 would be 60,000. And this is just to show, in general, if you just had $500 to put into the stock market, this is how much you'd have, wherever you got that $500 from. And you don't have to watch CNBC every day to see if the market's going up and down. You just know that on average, your money is gonna grow 7 to 10%. And I have a video out there of how to invest in the stock market to become a millionaire. Basically, it's the same thing. Compound interest, investing, however much you can every month. The longer you invest, the more this money grows. So the more you invest, the more your money grows. The longer you invest it, the more your money grows. It took me 10 years to become a millionaire. I have a video on that. How much it takes to become a millionaire in 10 years. That's $5,000 every month invested just in the stock market, doing not like picking crypto picks or not, day trading, just simply putting $5,000 every month into an ETF that tracks the market. So think about that, guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys coming. Please smash the like button. Please subscribe. I'm trying to do a challenge right now where I'm doing one video every day. I'm on day 8. So tomorrow will be day 9, and we'll see what idea comes to my head. I have a lot of ideas, and most of this stuff I've done, and it's worked out for me. So I'm just trying to share it. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks again, and have a good day. Peace.